All right, tuned in to the Lyrical Fix Podcast with Sade.
Kid Pro.
And Val.
All right. Go.
Yo. Wow, man. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
Yes.
How have you guys been?
Been pretty okay. I'm last minute moving out of my apartment that I was comfortable in. So that pretty much kind of threw me left field. But I'm looking for a place now. And I'm just looking forward to a lot of new things. A lot of things are happening all at once.
Okay.
That people can say that life, when it throws curveballs, it throws them hard. But at the same time, I'm gaining a lot. So I'm not upset about it because I know a lot of great things are going to come out of it. It's just right now I'm just in a rut. But then after that, I'm going to get a new place. I have my car that I've worked for 2 years for. You know what I mean? So all in all, a lot of blessings are coming my way, but a lot of things are also being stripped away.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with that, yeah.
It's all about growth.
It's all about growth, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Accepting the new things coming in, not letting it get to you.
Right.
I feel that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%. With me, after our last episode that we did last week, I went right to Newark to the True and Living Awards. Shout out to everybody there, Keese, Andy, P. Dot. I ended up winning Artist on the Rise.
Okay.
That was dope.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was a dope little award. Thanks to everybody who voted for me.
Yes.
Very much appreciated. And then I got to compete in the competition during that night, and that was dope. And I get a feature spot for the next month's event, so that was cool too. So shout out to everybody that was there, all the rappers that I met, all the other people that won awards. P. Dot won. K. Proetic, who left us our first comment on YouTube. Shout out to him.
Highlight of the week.
He won the People's Choice Award. So shout out to you, sir. Great dude. Shout out to P. Dot winning multiple awards. Shout out to Hit System, who won Producer of the Year. And it was a great time out there. And I forget the name of the spot, 27 something. It was a nice little dope outside area. Other than that, regular shitty week at work. Still me showing my face, my resting, my grimace. But I'm working on it. I didn't grimace too much because I was leaving early a lot. And and I had a 4-day weekend, so that's cool too. And then my birthday's coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. But all in all, pretty dope week. Can't complain. How about you?
Well, it was pretty cool because after the last podcast, we went to that listening party for Bronxlyn. And we'll get to that later. But, yeah, that was fucking amazing. That was dope as hell. Produced by Buggy. He's on the intro beat and outro beat. I'm trying to think of what else. That was super dope. It's just the vibes you get with them. And their group, it's Music on Heaven. It's 2 rappers, Bronxlyn and Rolly. Then you have Sammy, who does videographer, and he does everything. And then Buggy, the producer, the engineer, who apparently sings now. A little insider.
Oh, nice.
He was one of the tracks, and Sammy was going around. He was like, "Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is?" And everybody's like, "The fuck are you talking about?" And he's looking at me. I'm like, I don't know, like. And then you hear people whispering, and then at the end of the track, they're like, "Oh, it was Buggy." I was like, "Get the fuck out! Buggy knows how to sing too." But it was dope as fuck. And I talked to Bronxlyn about the podcast, and it was funny. It was like last year, me and him did. I interviewed him, and at the end, he said he was like, "You should have your podcast. Like, you should do this. This is what you need to do." So at the end of the listening party, when he was all done with everybody and I'm talking to him, I told him about the podcast. He's like, "Yeah, I peeped it. I heard a little bit of the first episode." He was like, "Man, I told you this last year. You should have been doing it."
Aww.
So yeah,
there was a lot of support there.
That's
So
what's up.
shout out to
Bronxlyn.
Shout out to Bronxlyn. That's what's up.
It's all love
that
there.
video is crazy, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
I respect
Lands
him.
of the Free.
Very dope.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the first single off his album. I'm butchering this. AKATA.
Yes,
Yeah.
AKATA.
Okay, cool.
Well, AKA,
Which I
I'm not sure
respect
if
it.
it's said a different
Mhm.
way, but yeah.
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect the vision and the whole thing.
Yeah,
that
the whole
comes in.
concept is like, it's amazing, getting down to your roots and just knowing yourself.
Right.
And like everything that's been going on, it's good that he put this out, and he's been working on it for forever. So because I met him with his debut project, 2 Boroughs, 1 City, because his name is Bronxlyn, Bronx, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So and that's his whole origin. So when we had the interview and we're talking about it, and I asked him, you always want to ask, like, okay, when's the next project?
Right.
He's like, I don't want to tell you. I'm not supposed to tell you. But he ended up telling me about it. He was like, I've actually been working on it longer than I've been working on this. Like, I just wanted to put something out, just to kind of put something out.
Yeah.
Two Boroughs, One City is still good. But this one, you can tell he put work in it. So good. So proud of him. He put a lot of work.
A shout out to him.
Yeah, so we'll play some music later. We'll plug his shit too.
Okay. Now that being said, we just want to remind y'all that you can check us out on Anchor, on Audio Mac, on Spotify, on Apple, and on YouTube as well. We're getting the video working out. Trust me, it's been a process getting all this video stuff together, but we are gonna get you that content, get you some clips. Our editing team is working very hard at everything, trying to make sure that everything goes through smoothly. I gotta tell you, I thought I could do everything on a motherfucking phone. It turns out you can't.
No.
And it got a little disappointing for me because I spent like a good 5 hours just trying to get last week's episode working. And I didn't know that once you finish everything, it's a 92-minute episode, so then you have to wait 92 minutes for that shit to like write or overwrite, whatever the fuck it's called, and then save. So when you get to that 92nd minute and you're happy as fuck getting ready to send it over, it tells you there's not enough space in your phone. Man, that shit was heartbreaking. That shit fucked
I was
with
a
me.
little worried about that. But it happens.
It is what
it was
it
only
is, man.
episode 2.
It's only episode 2, thank God.
It was really good.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean you still can't go and listen to the audio version of it.
Exactly.
And you can try to just close your eyes and imagine us.
Apple, Spotify,
Yeah,
Audio
just
Mac, Anchor.
picture 3 cool ass people just, talking
YouTube
their
will
shit.
be the cover art with the audio is still there.
Fuck yeah, man. Last week's cover art was dope, right? Yeah, the Instagram, I like that, the way you chose that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I figured, I was like, all right.
Because it was either that or a picture of Grimace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't want a picture of Grimace and it be called Grimace.
Yeah.
True.
A little redundant. So I was like, let me switch it up.
Maybe just like a close-up picture of me or something with a resting dick face or something. That probably would have worked, maybe.
Or what animal were we talking about?
Koala?
Koala. But
Oh,
like a
that's
koala
right.
with like your face. The
With
bitch
my
face. Oh, damn, I should have done
Ooh,
that.
that could have worked.
Future
I mean,
reference.
memes.
It's okay.
Now we know. Shit.
Future reference. But yeah, yesterday, it's funny talking about bitch face. Like, the last 2 days have been a little rough for me. And oh my fucking
Let's hear it, because I know you said that before in the chat, and I wanted to ask you when I didn't get a chance to. So is everything all right?
It's more like, and it's funny, I felt the same way. So what I was doing before, I've known that I've always wanted to be in music. But I've always known that I want to do something with restaurants. Like, I'm nice in the kitchen. Like, that business management, that's why I figured I'm like, so that's the bread. And then my side hustle would be music because, it's competitive as it is. And there's not always money right away and shit like that. So that was always my setup. So I was managing for years in restaurants. And then I finally all right, I'm taking a break. So I do 2 part-time jobs and then doing this, and it occurred to me one part-time job is trying to make me, they're both trying to make me full-time, but one is insistent on it. I'm like, bro, you're scheduling me damn near full-time when I just want 20 hours. That's all I want, just a little bit, just throw me a little money, that's it. And it's been a little hectic with that, and I that's the moment I realized when I told him, I'm like, I have another job. I was like, actually, I have 2 other fucking jobs. Yeah, I have 3 jobs because now with the podcast and with the show, it was always once a month thing and something I just do on the phone, but now it's growing to be so much more. So this is damn near a 3rd job. Yeah. So now I'm starting to feel that I'm gonna quit my job. I gotta do this all over again. It's almost a year since I gave up career stuff.
Right.
That consistent check, benefits and all that shit. No, you need benefits. I was about to say, do you really need benefits?
Yeah,
No, you need them.
it's important now,
It's important,
especially
yeah.
now in 2019. We
Yeah.
get fined if we don't have benefits, right?
Yeah, it's a double-edged
I've been able to
sword.
get away with shit. You can also finesse.
You can finesse.
You can finesse.
You can finesse. Not everybody's good at that, but the
I
ones
can't
who can.
end up. Nothing. No, I'm not gonna say it. God forbid anything happens. I can't go to
Word.
the ER because that's gonna be mad expensive with no benefits.
Yeah.
But it's just something because I just felt like I need to do this. If I don't do this, it's a fight just to get a night off for the show. And what if I do the podcast? And that's what I was thinking about a year ago. I'm like, what if I end up doing this? And what if, like, I was missing out on events and networking because I was a manager and I had to be there like 45, 50 hours. And I'm like, well, fuck. And shit, there were times I was working more than that. So it just became rough.
But not for nothing, it's kind of hard to juggle 50 hours a week just in general to work and to balance what you want to do in life. And that's the thing about our job right now that I said I don't like is the time consuming of it. Is like, yes, you know, we have 10, 12 hours a shift. Mm-hmm. But then out of those 10, 12 hours a shift, when do you have those hours when you don't have tables walking in, when you don't have people walking in? Those 3 hours that you had nothing, you could have used towards school or towards your passion, whatever you want it to be.
Word.
Yeah.
If you want to strategize about building your own restaurant, you could have invested those 3 hours on that time. You know what I'm saying? But we're over here
you've
working.
never seen me with my notebooks. I'm always doing something.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got my phone like on the side or my notebooks. I've got a fucking notebook for everything, for any thought or not any thought, but just like I used to do that when I was a manager, and that I used to get like complaints like, oh, you're not paying attention. Motherfucker, nobody walked into the building. Like, there's not, food is burning? No, there's no food because nobody's ordering anything. So, calm down. So, I was always the one, and I still do it to this day. One of the jobs is a little hard because they're stricter, and that's the one that wants me to work. Like, well, they've been giving me hours, like, way too many. And it's such a fucking bitch, man. I told one of them, I was like, yo, if you guys know anybody who's complaining about their hours and they want hours, let me know, because I'm about to make it rain hours in this bitch. That's what I told them. I get a call. I go to my next job, and I get a call. And this job, like, me and Val work together. I can freely, like, just go outside real quick for a couple minutes. So I'm outside, and I see I got a missed call from them. I call back. They're like, oh, yeah, you said you wanted to pick another shift. I was like, pick up another shift? You got me at 37 hours. Fuck you talking about? No, I'm giving hours away. Take the hours. I don't want them. So it's something like that. It's just it's now it's becoming a pain because now I see that that's the same place I was last year where it's like, okay, this is starting to build. Now I need to make more time for this, but I got bills. It's like, fuck, what do I do? So yeah.
It's always getting in the way. The bills is a
Life.
major thing. Life is always going to be there, man. It's about how we like pull through and everything, just like you were saying before with your stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all about how you perceive. Perception is a big thing. Like, your world could be crumbling and everything could be going bad, but it's really all dependent on how you view it. You know, is it going to make you a better person? Most likely, yeah, you just have to fight through it, but you can't view it negatively. The second you start doing that, everything's going to keep coming down. It's going to be a lot worse. You know? It's that shit can happen to anybody, but a lot of people handle it better because they choose to perceive it as more of a positive thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you believe is what you're going to get. So if you believe that this negativity is all that you're going to have in life, and you're not going to go anywhere because of life and this, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to stay in that place. Yeah. But if you go against the grind and say, you know what, I will be something. Yeah, right now, financially, it's not going to fit, but I can't just back it on that. I have to keep going. Mm-hmm. And then when you do that, then it will work in your favor. And then you will start seeing positive things, and that'll give you that motivation that you're missing. And I think, like I said, it's hard to do that. Like, I'm just saying that.
Yeah, because I'm such a realistic that I'm not, because, like, when you're realistic, you're in the middle. You're not, negative all the time. You're not positive all the time. It's just, I'm very like, oh, whatever. Like, fuck it. Like, okay, I'm going to get fired. Like, I'm going to be late to work tomorrow. I'm just going to get fired. And then our friend, he'll, I can't say his name.
Protect the innocent.
My little Irishman. He'd be like, come on, Sade, if I got to think positive, you have to think positive. And I'm like, nah, I positively think I'm going to get fired, which I'm okay with. Which is, it's more like, we were talking about it yesterday, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be such a, like, I know I'm going to give a sigh of relief, like, oh, thank God. Thank you for that. Because I don't know if I want to go through the struggle again that I did last year. Because now I'm good. Now I'm making more than I did last time. I just have more projects that I'm putting it into. But I don't know if I want to go through that again, what I did last time, like when I first, like, took that jump. into like, all right, I have no support. Well, financial support and shit like that. So, but I think that's what it's about. And like stuff that, like as artists, or if you're behind the scenes like me, like it's just about taking leaps, and that's what the industry's about.
Right. And then going back to taking leaps, like some of the artists, first time, there's the artists who are always in a studio, and then there's the artists who are used to performing. And the difference between the two is like when the person in the studio that's always in the studio, when they come into the stage, they're like, oh snap, what do I do? I'm lost. And I'm sure you could, give some evidence or some kind of example on that, because in the open mic that we have a lot of people, first time performers that come in, and she can tell the difference between a first time performer and a performer who's done this. Okay, this is like my whatever fifth time doing an open mic and whatever.
Well, no, there are times like in the past, like before you got into the show, before you started helping out, it was what's it called? There were a few people that caught me off guard. Like Bronxlyn, I was his first show. I was his first like performance, and I could not tell. He announced it afterward. He's like, "Thank you. This is my first time performing." Like, when he's dropping his tags and stuff. And I just looked. I was like, "That was the first time, bro. What the fuck?" And Sodom, shout out to Sodom too. Like he was a feature on Prospects slot, and me and Moose were like, "Yeah, we got to bring him back." So I went up to him. I was like, whenever you want, you get a slot. Just hit me up. This is my Instagram. Just hit me up. I got you.
Same thing with LB the Great, right? That was her first.
Was that her first? Maybe.
She said this was my first performance and stuff. And then you were like, wow, that girl, that was your first performance? I didn't even know.
And I've seen
you shot her out on that show, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's been really consistent.
Shout out to LB.
Yeah, go ahead, girl.
All of them.
I sees you.
Sodom did say
so,
he's gonna be back
going forward, we basically asked a question to our audience and our followers. And
Great segue.
And
Good segue. You fucking killing that shit. That's what's up.
What's funny, real quick? I don't care. I'm breaking the segue. I was trying to before I saw what she was trying to do. Mind you, I was trying to throw a segue to her to talk about what she's been doing lately.
Oh, that's right, 'cause we talked about that last week.
But no, it's fine. Go ahead.
So we'll talk on that. I think that's on artist development and stuff, but this is more of like
we'll talk about it after we just shit on everybody.
The do's and don'ts in performing and other artists supporting each other, and what do we do when we're in open mic settings. That's what we basically threw out there. Open mic etiquette, yes, and what are the do's and the don'ts, and we got a couple good responses. So we're just gonna share with you guys the responses that we got.
Do we do open mic etiquette or just artist etiquette in general? Or is that like a whole different conversation? I meant to do this in the group chat. But.
Well, the way that we spoke about it was just because it came up with some artists that were at the last showcase, at the Check It showcase, Check It Open Mic, and the way they acted, and it wasn't, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's where the topic started from.
Yeah, I have about one every show.
Yeah.
Every other show, yeah.
So for anyone listening, for any of the artists that are listening, we know that the ones that we deal with, we know that their etiquette, they're pretty good. Like they know their shit, they know how to handle themselves, they know how to act, and they know how to move and coordinate with everything. But you always run into those few acts that just have no fucking idea, no clue what the fuck they're doing. So we put out a quick poll on Instagram saying, hey, we want to hear from you guys. What are your do's and don'ts when it comes to open mic etiquette, showcase etiquette? How should you move? How should you act? Blah, blah, blah. So we got a lot of good responses. I want to go into one that Guess, what's up, brother?
Guess music, what's up?
He always loves when I shout him out. So he sent me a message. I'll just read off the phone. Thank you, by the way, Sade. Dudes, shake everybody's hand. Introduce yourself as your stage name to everyone. Show respect for the other artists. Watch, listen, pay attention. Always clap, even if you're not feeling if they're still fellow artists. Know the host name. Don't leave as soon as you're finished unless you plan on never coming back or have some place you need to be within reason. Those were the do's. The don'ts. Don't be disrespectful. Don't get up or have a conversation during someone's set. Oh, my God. Can I just say, I did a set. I did a showcase, a little open mic in Newark. Shout out to Bartleby. She's dope. It was like a poetry / rock / hip hop concert. It was in Newark at Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah, I want to go there.
It was very dope.
I was a little jealous.
Good vibes. Little vendors and everything. It was very dope. A lot of good singers and everything. So there's one guy's going. I forgot his name. I think his name was Space. And while he's rapping, these guys come in, they pay the ticket, they come in, and they're going to say hi to the vendor. And the vendor's like about 5 feet from the performance area. So these two guys go and they get up and they say hi to the vendor and the vendor's boyfriend. So they're hugging and dapping each other up while this guy's performing 2 feet away. Like, that's such a fucking dick move. And that has nothing to do with the artist. That has to do with the actual, like, audience. Like, you should not interrupt or do anything like that when someone's up there giving their performance. Like, they're giving you a piece of themselves. They're trying to express themselves. They've had a long day at work. They just want to perform and show you some good music. And here you are coming in the middle of the performance doing that shit. If you want to say hi to somebody, do it when the fucking song's over in between the sets. Switching up. That shit was mad rude, man. And I made sure when I got up on stage. Was it that loud? Yeah. Well, I mean, it was disrespectful because you're right next to him. Like, you're performing and, like, 2 feet away from you, someone's saying hi.
If I was running that, I get pissed off. I mean, shout out to Mama Dukes, but I get mad when she starts feeling nice because everybody knows when my mom is there. And she always stays by the bar, always. Because she's like, I don't want to, intrude. So she stays by the bar to watch. And this bitch will be giggling and laughing with somebody. And I'm looking at them like, shut up. Just, if you don't shut up.
Oh, your mom's cool as hell, man.
Yeah.
Your mom's cool as hell.
Yeah, all those fucking little wine coolers getting all loud. And I'm like, and then if there's a poet up there, I'm like, I was like, Mom, just give me like 4 or 5 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes. And then you can go back to giggling and laughing. 4 or 5 minutes.
But yeah, you got to respect the artists when they're doing their thing. Got to show them some respect. On top of that, if you got to get up and go outside, wait till in between acts. Don't even think you're better than anyone else, even if you are, in the parentheses. Once again, fellow artists at the end of the day doing the same show. Please don't go anywhere to perform and play music off your phone. Buy a USB. They're less than $5. Guess you're the fucking man for that. Yes, flash drives have dramatically decreased in price nowadays. You can get a fucking 10 gig whatever flash drive that'll save all your shit and your boy shit and beats for about less than $20. Oh, yeah. Invest. It's a very small investment. You can take that shit, you keep it in your pocket, on your keychain, so that everywhere you go, you have your shit ready to perform. No matter what. If you had a fucking quinceañera and they ask you to perform, hey, my guy here does music. Guess what, nigga? You ready. They got a laptop, put your shit in USB, and you good to go. If you had a showcase open mic and you didn't know you was going to perform, you just showed up, guess what? Your shit's ready to go. Get that flash drive ready, bro.
No, and you know why he put that in there? He put that in for me. I see you, Guess. I see you.
Yeah, Guess knows what he's doing.
Because, what was it? The last one, I took a break, and I'm like, yo, if one more motherfucker comes up to me and asks me, oh, can I sign up? Cool, okay, I got a slot. But then you were like, oh, but I don't got Wi-Fi. I mean, I don't have a USB. Can I? Where do you think we are? Ain't no Wi-Fi in this bitch. Now I got to use my hotspot because I'm too nice. So I'm like, all right, so let me hook up my hotspot and waste my shit because one of them was actually nice enough and be like, no, because I said it to him. I was like, so you're gonna make me use my hotspot right now? So I can get this whole email. No, just use my hotspot. I was like, okay, that's what I thought. But no, we were outside, and I was like, and then he mentioned it. Yeah, you were right there, and Guess is like, I was just like, one more fucking person.
The way she said hotspot was so fucking like mad. You were so infuriated.
Demanding. Right?
Yeah.
So you want me to
like,
use
no, I'm not
my
gonna give my
hotspot
hotspot anymore. You want me to use my hotspot?
Wait, you were there during the actual interaction. Oh, yeah, you were.
Outside. Ooh. And then the way you said hotspot, like you weren't trying to give anybody a hotspot.
No.
And I don't blame you.
No, it was it was to my own laptop, but it's like, bruh, it's T-Mobile. I get only a certain amount of like, like.
Yeah, that got to change. Like, you motherfuckers really got to just buy your own goddamn flash drive.
And that's when Guess was like, and he was like, and you put it on the flyer and it's right there. So that was the funny part.
Oh, it's another thing. I don't even think anybody put that on there, but read the fucking flyer.
Oh, my God.
Read the flyer. She shouldn't have to be zooming in on this shit. She really shouldn't have to.
No, I'm going to do that again when we get a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm going to, because I have them saved. So we'll do that again. Okay. No, because I keep getting the questions. I was going to wait for like a little bit after to talk about this.
I'm going to scream about it.
But because these motherfuckers, I'll get it the day of. I'll get messages the day of. The fucking day of. What's the address? I had one artist who got mad, who was saying, like, so you're really not going to answer me. And then he has the audacity to be like, baby girl. Really? So you're not? I had mad messages, and then I had like a break, and this is like when I was cooking for the show. So I hit him up. I was like, and I seen the phone as I'm cooking my fucking empanadas. Like I see the phone going off, and I'm like, no, I'm listening to like music or I'm listening to a podcast. I'm not answering you.
Yeah, because the address and everything that you need is gonna always be on the flyer. Like,
brother, shit's there, man.
Why would you sign? How would you sign up to an event
that you don't even know where it's at?
Yeah, when the address is right, or I can't. Okay,
right,
no, we got to take a break from this. I'm getting agitated.
Let's go on to the next one. You want? I need your phone.
I got you.
Yes, let's go to the next person.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. All right, so this is next picture. Slide over.
Oh, just like you.
All right.
There's nothing on there. You're good.
Okay. My man Villas from STTP. What up, y'all? St. James, LB the Great, Villas, Epidemic, all y'all. Indeed, y'all are fucking dope. So Villas, real quick, you sent me one. Drop the @ when performing and showing love. So yes, at the beginning of your performance, at the end of your performance, please say your Instagram name correctly. Say it slow so people can understand. And make sure you remind everybody what it is, because sometimes you have, actually all the time, when you're just performing great, people want to record your shit. They want to film it. They want to post it on Instagram so you can, add it to your story and shit. It just helps. It's a whole networking thing. Make sure you're saying your @ name correctly. If you have more than 3 motherfucking underscores in your name, get a new fucking IG name. Like, it don't cost much. But
yeah,
we can't be doing this, bro.
Underscore,
Look, one underscore or a period, that's fine, man. I get it. There's a lot of names out there. If you got like fucking 6 numbers in your fucking IG, get a new one. Like, just you gotta make it simple for people. Like mine, @IAMKidPro. I am Kid Pro. Simple as that. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. You got like what? 1 underline in your shit, 1 underscore. That's fine.
Yeah.
I am. What is it? I'm written by Sade. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple, guys. Doesn't have to be that complicated. Just
no.
Figure it out. It's not that hard, because you don't want to go and tell people, yeah, my name is so and so 195735 underscore 352 whatever.
And there's 10 underscores.
And there's 10 underscores.
No, fuck out of here.
What are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing, guys? So simple.
Get
Thank you, Vil. That's what's up.
Next
Next. My man St. James sent me
oh my God,
a laundry list of shit. This was the best one. I'm going to read it. And one of these seems like it was aimed at me, because I've been there before. So I'm sorry, brother, if you hit me with that one. But he was like,
oh my God. Yeah.
And he started with fam! Exclamation point. Fam! Number 1. Say your fucking IG name clearly and slowly before and after performing.
Which we just covered.
Niggas be performing and bouncing with no way to reach them. Number 2, if niggas is wearing shorts, make sure to have clean socks. Looking like they work
I've never noticed
looking
that.
like they work at the mechanic, SMH. Word.
I've seen a few like Michael Jackson type shit. They got fucking black sneakers and white socks, but I've never noticed dirty socks.
Whoa.
Now I'm going to be looking. Okay, go ahead.
Now we're always going to be looking at socks. Thanks, Saint. All right, number 3, stay at least an hour to 90 minutes at the show after you perform. Yes, that's it. Basic, yeah. 4, if you think someone is dope, show them the love. That tough guy, I gotta be thoroughbred, done-dunny, in the face ass shit is played out. Niggas be rocking to your shit, but you don't know because they was extra steel face while you were performing, and then it's not until you go up to them that tell you that you dope. I've been through that. Motherfuckers will give you that hard ass look, and then you actually talk to them and be like, yo, bro, your shit was dope. I don't know why we're going through this today. I don't know why it's so hard for people to just be open and tell someone that they were dope.
It's the grimaces of the world.
I don't grimace.
You're not like that.
Not like that. I'll show a motherfucker some love. Like, yo, you fucking killed that shit. Great job, bro.
Yeah, I feel like it comes with like their own personal, road and like, how far you are further away than them.
It's probably the image that they just project.
Some guys don't want to act like they.
Oh
my God, I want to, feel like I was riding your dick, and I'm like, bro, just say you like this fucking shit, and that's it. Keep it moving.
Exactly.
Ain't that serious?
Right.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that was a great one. Let me see what else. Number 5. Oh yeah, this is one. Brush your teeth, or bring some gum and some water. Some of these niggas blunt breath. Some of these niggas blunt breath be on auto kill, and some of these niggas obviously got call center jobs or talk all day and haven't drank enough water. Breath be on the warm side with a forecast of high humidity. Word.
What a description.
That was the best one. Yeah. Have fun. Some of these niggas is too serious. And then the last one, which I also think is more important, or the most important, please practice. Other artists can tell if you wasn't shooting in the gym, or they can tell that you weren't shooting in the gym. Practice, practice, practice.
Mm-hmm.
I said this before in a different interview. I said 2 words I tell every artist. Beyonce rehearses.
Yeah.
If Beyonce rehearses and goes through all this shit to make sure that her shows are the best possible
you said
show
that during
around.
performances too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
it's
the
true.
fuck? What the fuck makes you as a rapper or R&B artist or whatever think that you're so
Exception.
fucking important that you don't have to fucking rehearse your shit? Get the fuck out of here. Just because you wrote your shit, just because you took you 3 hours to record your shit, does not mean that you have it fully memorized. You have to practice your shit. You can't be going up to these places expecting to get new fans and have people follow you and show you all this love if you don't even have a fucking rehearsal down and you're not really trying your best to get this
Yeah.
shit out.
And those are the ones that get intimidated when they see like a Kid Pro, or they see fucking Sodom when they see like Sodom who hasn't been doing this for a long time. I forgot how long. He said in an interview and I forgot.
Couple years.
Yeah, like barely, I think.
Yeah.
He's been fucking rocking it out. And it's like, if you don't practice and you're not there 100%, or you don't even have to be for like an open mic. Like my show is not for 100% people. It's for everybody. It's a place where you can practice, but
Also,
bitch, you gotta practice at home. Like you have
practice.
to.
Practice
Yeah,
in front
I
of your
also
fucking
notice
mirror.
the difference when I practice and I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. So there's
Oh
an
yeah, because you be
effortlessness.
trying to go by the whim, and I'm like, do you have your set ready? I'm still debating on it. Bitch.
Okay.
Now you see it. No, but it's important. And fucking practice rapper hands in the mirror. Do some shit.
Get your rapper hands on, bro. I can't stress the importance
Right.
of the rapper hands.
I be killing it with rapper hands in the
Do
car
you?
though.
Your rapper hands, you got your shit on
I
point?
got my shit on point.
All right, I see you out here. Yeah, practice though, man. Come on, man. You can't think that you're that fucking important that you don't need to practice. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck y'all niggas.
Exactly.
Shit. Last one from my man Lord Trill. Shout out to you, brother. Etiquette, I think, should be practiced is to make sure you show up early and on time, because that's a good chance to network. Don't leave before the show is over. If you can stay as long as possible, do that to show love to all the artists. Most importantly, don't take yourself too serious and have fun. Yes. Like we said
Yeah,
before.
I think when you take yourself too serious, you tend to overthink.
No,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like I overthink the situation when it's that simple. Like just be you, just do you, and practice before you do it.
Have fun, man. This is not Madison Square Garden. These are
This
this is
isn't-
open mic. It's a showcase. It's a bunch of like-minded artists just trying to get their shit together. Think of it like a fucking gym. We're all just working out, just trying out our material, trying to get better at this shit.
Yeah.
The least you can do is just don't take yourself too serious. Know that everybody there is to have a good time. Network, talk to people. If they're able to give you some critique, some positive feedback, some negative feedback, whatever, just take it and apply it for your next
Right.
show. You know, if you're really out here and you're meeting all these people, you're going to many shows, multiple shows a month, so you're getting a new chance every time to work on your fucking act. If you mess up at one, you'll do fine, and you'll learn from that mistake, and you'll do better at the next one. Like, you
Right.
can't take yourself too serious. Have some fucking fun here.
Yeah.
We're all here to learn. We're all here to support each other, and it goes a long way if you just keep showing that love to everybody that's
Right.
there. Like, you can only get better from this. You can't really get worse if you keep
Exactly.
working at it.
That's exactly what Charlie said too. She responded and she said the same thing. It's like just arrive on time and support each other throughout the whole show. Don't leave early, because when you do that, you're not supporting. Yeah, you're gonna be like, yeah, your music is dope, but then you walked out on my act. So how
Exactly.
Yeah.
how am I supposed to take that compliment serious, or
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
you know,
It
like how
just-
do I know if you're really riding with me or if you're just talking bullshit?
It's a like, as somebody who like holds the events and like, you know, I mean I'll perform here and there, but as somebody who's organizing it and doing like, I'm waiting for you guys. Yeah, bro, y'all niggas need to be on time, because I can't.
Yeah, hip-hop time is
Oh
ridiculous.
Jesus.
I've never been to any show hip-hop.
I think
that started
people
on
need
time.
to realize, yeah, because what I've learned is that nobody wants to go first, so everybody's gonna come in late.
Right.
But then also nobody wants to go last, so it's like, do you want to go first? Do you want to go last? When do you want to go? Because if you're not gonna be on time, that's why I randomly call out names based on who's there. So I'm not, unless it's like there's a case where it's like, listen, like I wanted to come out, but I also have kind of an emergency, so I gotta dip out. Like there was somebody the last show was like that, and he had like something with his daughter. He's like, I can't leave her for too long with, you know, like the babysitter's not gonna stay too long. No problem. I'll skip a little bit ahead, like, you know, nobody's gonna really fret like that. But if you come in, you're the last one there. Don't get tight because you're the last one to go. That's not anybody else's problem.
To be honest,
who got
that's
there
never
before
been
you.
like a main issue for me. First or last, whatever. Just put me in a slot. Like, I don't care as long as I'm performing and have my number.
Oh no,
there's pressure.
2 years doing this shit. And
there is pressure in going first because you're like, oh my god, what if I go first and there's other better artists better than me? And it's like, whatever, who cares? At the end of the day, you just got it out the way and you just put your stamp, so it doesn't matter. If you go last, they feel the same pressure. They're like, oh my god, everybody
gotta close out the show,
and I don't know how I'm gonna come out. Like, bro, it doesn't matter as long as you got your spot and you get to show your talent and what you can bring.
You shouldn't worry about that.
Well, I think the main thing about going last is because people leave early. So people are like, well, there's nobody here. Okay, well, then talk to your fucking people then. And also, as somebody who holds these events and watch it, like, I do let people sign up early. How about if you want people to show up, how about you, I don't know, advertise for it.
Yeah.
Promote. If you know you're gonna be there, then promote.
Yeah.
It's not complicated. We're in the social media age, and you can't get mad. I mean, you shouldn't be getting mad that there's nobody around or people left early. You didn't bring anybody with you to support you. You're waiting on strangers to support you. Even though my shows and like most of the shows that I've been to and networked and even like what is it called? Beats Meets Bars. Yeah. Very supportive. Like, it's not like any booing or, and there's been kind of trash going up too. But you're waiting on strangers when you have people. I mean, if you don't have anybody, you have at least a couple people that you can bring or one person. You're waiting on other people. Like, you want to go on when it's the most people there. You don't know when that's going to happen. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's the only two, really.
I think etiquette also comes with, like, where that artist is individually in their journey, too. Like, if they're taking it seriously, if they've performed before, if they're still nervous, if they still have kind of, like, nerves when they go up or some kind of stage fright issues, that also comes in a way as well in that artistry. So I think a lot of that has to do with that. And maybe they don't feel good enough, so why stay and watch the acts? Because then that can intimidate them, in a sense.
What was that? Well,
I guess I could see that.
And why should I support someone who's better than me? Because I think in an insecure artistry mindset,
that's insecure.
That's
insecurity artist mindset.
That's bad.
Yeah.
If you're thinking that way, that's a really bad.
Exactly. But I've met artists or other people who've been in that, and they've allowed that to stun them. They've allowed that to stop, and they're like, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable," and therefore they just give up on the whole thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to continuing and trying to go against it.
Yeah. I mean,
they're taking it the wrong way. Yeah, they're just looking at this whole thing the wrong way. Like, you're there to better yourself. Like, it shouldn't matter if there's 2 people, 20, 200. Like, you're there to train and get better so that when you do get that opportunity where you can perform in front of thousands of people, you're prepared. That's how I look at this thing. Like, I never looked at it like, I'm not going to perform because there's 2 people left in here because I'm last. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to work on my material. If there's people listening to it, cool. But I'm there to just work on this song that I've been recording and try to make it look as dope as possible. If I got one of my boys filming my shit, that's content that I'm going to put up on social media anyways. No one needs to know what time that shit was. No one needs to know there was 2 people in the crowd. They're just going to see me performing the fuck out of that song.
Yeah.
And it's going to look dope. Like, that's really what it's about. Like, you're there testing out your material. It doesn't matter who's at the crowd at that time. That is nothing. Yeah. If you get to meet a few people off your performance, cool. If not, go to the next fucking show. You probably won't go last. Again, you'll probably go in the middle or you'll go first. Like, but just deal with it. Like, these artists are getting too caught up on this bullshit of, like, I only gotta perform when it's packed. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's some egotistical shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes back to the rehearsing thing. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, we're all unsigned artists. Like, there's no J. Cole's or Kendrick's or Drake's coming to fucking open mics. Like, we're all unsigned. We're all trying to get somewhere. We're trying to build up our fan base. So if it just so happens that it's one of those nights where it's a slow night and you're going last and there's nobody there, do your fucking performance and get better. Like, that's what you should be focusing on anyway.
Right.
Like, if you're networking the whole night and talking to the other artists that went up before you, that's you doing your work for social media and for network, and focus on that. But if they're not there to check your performance, so what? At least you're still working on your performance. The mics still work. The speakers still work the same. There might be less people, but you're still getting a chance to rock on your shit.
Yeah, you shouldn't let, like, if there's a lot of audiences or if there's one person, stop you. But a lot of people, there's fewer crowds, and then they get nervous and their stage fright kicks in. And then you have people who can do a whole huge crowd and this is easy because I could just look at the clock in the auditorium of months of these people, or just look at the spotlight and act like I'm just there by myself. Yeah. So every artist has its own like tactic to deal with that. I know people who wear shades because if they don't, that's
how I started.
They don't feel secure.
That's how
they feel like, oh my God, I can't talk to these people. Like I feel weird. I feel like the spotlight's on me. And yeah, all eyes are gonna be on you. You're on stage and you have a mic. Cool, get over it. You know what I mean? But it is hard to do that because it's like, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what they're gonna say. I don't know how they're gonna think, and all those thoughts run through your head, and then at that point you just freeze or you don't. You know, it just really depends on the individual.
Yeah.
True.
It all depends.
Thank you.
I think it's just something about like the whole taking a leap. That's what the whole, like, you took a leap and yeah, you experienced stage fright, but bitch, jump. Like, just jump.
Yeah. But it's that whole thing. If I jump,
because the stage fright, if they got stage fright, like, their leg is over, but they're still on the cliff. Like, they haven't completely jumped. Like, they're just almost there. But if you don't complete it, if you don't, like, that feeling, like, stage fright, that shit stopped me. I would feel like my legs shaking. But afterward, it was the best fucking feeling.
Right.
The best feeling.
It's very liberating. And you even question, like, why was I nervous in the first place?
Yeah, because then you get all this support and you get all this love and you realize, like, oh, like, I wasn't going to get booed. Okay. It's not Apollo. Like, nobody's going to come out and take you out. Yeah.
And, like, not for nothing, one thing that made me overcome my stage fright or my stage frights was, like, listening to artists that inspired me or that motivated me to continue keeping going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like listening. Okay, for one inspiration that I had was Selena. You know, like, oh my goodness, she was Latina and she freaking killed it. She sang Spanish and English songs, and to me, as Latina growing up, I thought that was awesome because, yeah, you know, Selena has a way better voice than J-Lo, you know, not gonna kid it, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only person that I was like, yo, if she can go up and do this in front of all these people, what is stopping me? And she's made all of these songs, right?
Exactly.
So at the end of the
you answered. See, the whole thing you were having last week, right there. That's all you had to say.
Right.
So now you can't nothing
but
stop you.
But you just stopped her. Let her go.
Yeah. Let me continue. So that's what made me keep on performing, because when I first was started up as a performer and I just started doing the stage thing, I never sang in front of people. Not in front of my mom, not in front of my sister. Like, they would I would sing by myself in a room and they would catch me and they would be like, "Okay, go on, don't let me stop you." And I'd just be like, "No, you just caught me singing, I'm gonna stop." So I would just literally just sing to myself in my room and practice and try to sound like Christina Aguilera or whoever. But, like, I never really went on a stage, one mic, spotlight on me, because I would just run.
Right.
And the nerves, like she said, the legs would shake and all that. But then, you know, one day in the 7th grade, I was forced into that shit. Someone told me that you want to be a part of the Spanish club? I was like, oh, sure. It's just a bunch of Hispanics in the club. Sure. No, it was us singing songs that were in Spanish. And then they were like, oh, you're going to have a solo. It's going to be like some small assembly. And it ended up being the whole entire elementary school. Sure. And they opened the curtains. I was on the stage and I was just ready.
You got pushed off the cliff.
For real.
And I was just like, you telling me that I gotta sing in front of the whole school now? Okay. I almost walked out the stage, but the whole time my whole body was shaking and everything, but my voice was completely sounding clear. It was like, oh my goodness. And then after that, it was the most liberating feeling ever. And then I just was like, oh, I can't stop this now. I have to keep going.
It's a drug.
What about your first time going over that?
My first time, I think I told you guys a story. Maybe I didn't, but the first time that I performed, it was at a girls' volleyball tournament at Dover High School.
I didn't hear this.
You didn't hear the story? Okay, so I was in my little, like, 6-man group, and we were hype as fuck. We're like, all right, man, it's a girls' volleyball tournament, so we got to make a song about the girls. So we stayed up all night the night before, and shout out to Obi Beats. He made the beat, and we called it Girl, Get Up, Get Down, some shit like that from what I remember. Beat was cool, at least we thought at the time. So we're all hyped as fuck. We wake up in the morning. We're heading to the gym. And already the principal is not feeling us. Like, she sees us walk in, and this is like early 2000s. So we all got our caps. We got a Dipset 3X T-shirts and shit.
Damn.
Like a red T-shirt under a blue T-shirt under a white T-shirt. We got the do-rag with the headband and a fitted on top of it. 7 5/8 size, close to 8. So we're looking a specific way. She's not feeling it. So we're walking in there. And it's like around the time they told us to come in, it's like the last round of this fucking tournament. So the principal's like, in like her stern voice, like, yeah, you guys can go on once they're done. So we're like, all right, cool. We're getting ready. So we get on. The tournament's over, and she gives us some half-ass introduction, and we're there performing. And I'm literally performing, and the volleyball net is right in front of me. And people are leaving. There's parents leaving. There's some people just standing up, looking weird, just like, what the fuck's going on? And we're doing our song. And I'm performing the shit out this motherfucker. And where it got to me, where it made me feel like shit, was I felt the janitor right behind me sweeping. Like, he's 2 feet behind me. He's just sweeping as I'm performing. Like, that shit was mad fucking, it was so awkward. He's sweeping. Like, this nigga's literally sweeping right behind me as I'm performing. That was embarrassing. I felt like shit, but at the same time, I was like, y'all can do this again. Like, it didn't, like, bother me. Like,
so it didn't bother you.
It was a bomb. Like, I bombed. Like, that was me, like, bombing. Like, there were people walking out. There were people looking at me, like, waving their arm, like, what the fuck is this? Because it was, they thought it was whack. Like, I don't know if it was good or not. I don't have any footage of it. And there was a nigga behind me sweeping. Like, I'm like, this couldn't get any worse. It can't be. But that's what I needed. So the next thing I did was not as bad. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I figured from then on, there's nothing that's going to be worse than that. But I had moments where, like, the mic slipped. I forgot my lyrics. I had to freestyle on stage and just said a whole bunch of gibberish in front of people that were like, that thought I was dope. The mic cord just kind of came off, and I'm just holding the mic and no cord, and no one can hear me. Like, I've tripped.
Wow.
So it's like, after a while,
but
after
you've
that
never
first one,
allowed the crowd or the audience to affect you as an artist, and
never.
That's what's important.
Never.
That's the key right there.
You learn.
You got blinders.
Yeah.
After last week, but people walking in on the podcast, I'm like, this motherfucker got blinders.
Yeah, because I just stayed focused at the task at hand. Like, you're there to do a job. Like, you're there to perform and just do your part and do it show. Like, you can't really let anything bother you. I guess it's like kind of like the whole professional thing, I guess. I don't know.
So shout out to the people who are still like up and coming in that.
Yeah,
and
man.
still trying to get that comfortability.
It's a process. For those who are new to it, it's not daunting. Don't let it like affect you. Don't let it scare you off. This is something. I mean, nobody starts off that way.
Yeah, we all fuck up.
People got motherfuckers sweeping behind them. Like, you gotta build up. It's about building up.
And not only that, but he was able to see what was going on.
I had the volleyball.
No, I had my shades on the first time I performed.
In front of me. People walking out, parents and kids just leaving as we're performing. It was tough at first, but like, I learned from it. I laughed about it. Like 15 minutes later, I was pissed at the principal because I thought she screwed us over. But I was like, I don't give a fuck. She probably did. Yeah, she didn't like the hip hop shit. I don't blame her. It is what it is. So I wasn't mad at that. But yeah, that's it. As far as stage fright shit goes, like, you get over it, man. Like, this is something that every artist deals with.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's definitely music that can give you that motivation too.
Yeah,
like, for
man.
me too, like in those times where I self-doubted myself or whatever, I would listen to like Nas, One Mic, or songs that gave me that vibe, like, come on, bitch. Like, pump up, move something. Like, and I would find that to be kind of like my music therapy, kind of, in a sense.
Or I fuck with that. I like that a lot. But yeah, man, look, and going back, it's just to put a pin on this whole thing.
Yeah.
With the etiquette shit, I guess the main thing we can all agree on is just be respectful to all the other artists. Like, you don't know what they're going through. A lot of these people, it's their sanctuary. Like, they have tough weeks during the week, and they just want to come here to let go and express themselves, and they want to just let you know what's on their mind, or they just want to work on this song. The best thing to do for them and for all of us, just to respect each other. This is a nice little network that we're building. These are artists that you'll see. I see a bunch of artists in Newark, and I'll see them at Patterson. I'll see them at Lodi. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're all here, and we're all just trying to better ourselves and just get our whole thing going and build our fan base, meet new artists, work with them, connect, and just try to build something. So the least you could do is just fucking hang around, show them love. And as for the artists that are performing, be sure that you let everybody know who you are and make sure that they understand and they can find you, and let them know where to find you, and just have more ways to be accessible. you know, and then be professional with these venues and these hosts. Like, they're going out of their way, they're spending their money, spending their time. They could be doing something somewhere else, something completely different, but
Could
they're
be
doing it there.
sleeping.
Yeah, they could be sleeping, but they're doing this shit for the artist. The least you could do for them is to be respectful to them, speak to them in a respectful manner, and come prepared and just come ready to do the work. Like, don't half-ass this shit. I guess that's pretty much what I'm trying to say with that, right?
Yeah.
Did we leave anything out as far as any
No.
do's and don'ts?
Come in early, leave late,
On time,
brush
leave
your
late,
teeth,
brush your teeth.
wear clean socks.
Right.
Bring mints. Bring some mints. Bring
You
gum.
know what? Maybe I'll do that. Well, no, I mean, like, I'm good. But I'm saying, like, leave.
Leave mints at the
Leave.
bar.
Leave mints at the bar. Yeah, some peppermints and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Because
It goes a long way.
y'all deal with it networking. I deal with it, like, the entire show. Where I'm,
Yeah.
like, ducking and dodging motherfuckers and shit.
Yeah, blunt breath is serious. It's a serious issue.
Because I got a little spot where, you know, people can go. And it's, like, cool. That's why I do breaks, is because I don't want people walking out to go smoke while, you know, like, there's performances.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you guys a break. I get it. Like, I am a smoker. I understand. Like, you got to take a piss. There's a break.
It's
Go
good
ahead.
to have a break, too. It's good to have
Yeah.
a break. You need breaks.
I
But-
hate like the whole time when you were at the open mic and I won't have to pee, but once you call me up, I have to pee. I'm like, why? You understand? Like, it
Like the
always
nerves.
happens.
The nerves hitting you.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm like, yo, I have to pee before I go, and then
Yeah, no, one time you told me that. So now I just, like, because there are some people that I want, like, usually, like, the first person is a surprise. After that, you know, like, I tell, like, all right, you got one more person than you, or
Yeah.
two more people and then you, kind of thing. Like, I warn people. But yeah, no, the first one's always a surprise. I don't want to hear no complaints. I don't want to hear no shit. You're getting
Word.
up. That's it.
It's happening.
I got your music already. I can play it if you want to come up or not, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
And any artist, if y'all hearing this or anybody hearing this and
Yeah.
y'all got more do's or don'ts, please let us know. We'll go over this topic again because I'm sure we might have missed a few things. in
Yeah,
here.
I have stuff that I wanted to cover, but then I feel like it's too mean.
You want to say that for another time, or we could just do it
Yeah.
now?
I'm saving no.
We'll
You
save
sure?
for
Because
another
we did
time?
put a
Okay.
bow on it. But if you want to
No,
open
no,
it
no,
back
no,
up,
no,
we
no,
can
no,
do that.
no, another time.
I ain't got no problem.
Yeah.
No, because then no.
This could be
another
all
time.
about just that, because this is a great topic anyway.
No, another time, because I feel like it's gonna
Another
come
time?
off too mean, and it's an open mic. No.
Okay,
People
fair
just
enough.
need to
Yeah,
be
fair
able to-
enough.
yeah.
We'll save
You know,
for
save it
another
for the
time.
open mic. Say it during open mic. We can talk about it then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very mean. Because I'm sure it's. Well, don't worry about
All
it.
right.
Well,
all right.
pin.
We'll talk it out. Put
We'll
a
talk
pin in
about
that.
it. Yeah,
all right.
don't worry.
So let's get into what else. And we're
Dramatic.
back.
We are
With
back.
punching.
All right.
So, is this where we break down our favorite verses? This is where
Yeah,
Lyrical
let's get
Fix
right into
Pod
it.
really gets deep into some of our favorite verses, whether it be current or something from the past. We just like to break down the songs and the lyrics in those songs that
Word.
took us to another place, made us feel a feeling that we haven't felt in a while, and just really reinforced our love for this music thing, which is basically the biggest thing that three of us have in common, just our love for music of all types of genres and different artists and different styles. Like, that's what brought us together. That's what brings pretty much every artist together, their love for this music shit.
100%.
So, yeah, so not a new segment, but I guess our main segment
Yeah.
that we're going to be getting into. We're going to start with Val first. What is a song, lyric, whatever that just took you to that place? What's up?
Okay, so I'm going to take it to something that's more like present to me and that I could relate, because I had a lot of self-reflecting. I've been single for like 3 years, but like really single and taking that time to myself. So like a song that really stuck to me that's current right now, but like I said, this doesn't have to necessarily be current. It could be any lyric that hits you, is "In the mirror, she a blessing rebuking the devil. Living on the edge, she keeping me leveled." So that's by Rick Ross, and it's in Go Roses featuring Drake, for those who know it. And like at the end of the day, I can relate to this because you know, a lot of us as women in the society have to kind of cover up our insecurities and think that and perceive ourselves as these strong women, and internalize a lot of issues that we sometimes don't really do that with our own selves, and we pretend and play like everyone around us does, because it's easy and it's something that everyone else is doing, so why not? You know, it's the thing. So let me be on Tinder, let me be on this and whatever. But at the end of the day, you're not really looking at the mirror and really seeing what you really want to see. And we're not able to be real with ourselves. But I, as myself, I I don't think I've ever struggled with that. I think I've been able to look at myself and face my demons, so I can say that I do rebuke, and that I do live on the edge, and that I do live on a faith,
Right.
and in a hope that I won't fall into those things. And if I do, I can check myself,
Okay.
and it's all right, you know. And it's not easy to get to that place. It takes time, you know what I'm saying? It's not. But, like, I can relate to that verse because of that. But, yeah.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a dope album too by Rick Ross. So
Yeah,
fuck with
guys,
that.
check him out.
Drake's verse is crazy on that. Rick Ross
Oh my
killed
God,
that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of verses.
The Maybach music with Lil Wayne, that shit was dope. And then the version that had Push on it, that shit was crazy too. Yeah, I'll go next. So yeah, I rap, and one of the songs is from Illmatic, Nas, Illmatic, back in 93, 94.
I knew it.
And it's the song Life's a Bitch. And the funny thing about this, it's not even Nas's verse. It's AZ's verse, who was pretty much, he was the only feature on Illmatic, and he just came with the hell of a verse. That album, even without that verse, is still a classic album. Top 10 albums of hip-hop albums of all time. But AZ's verse on that motherfucker is what made me want to, like, pick up my pen and rap. Like, that verse has nothing to do with me except for a few things. But as an MC, like, when you're chasing and you want to make a dope-ass verse, especially when you're a feature on someone else's album, you really want to go hard. You want to give them the best that you got. You're not trying to outshine them, but if it happens, it happens. So be it. And this is one of those examples, because Nas brought a truly classic hip-hop album with Illmatic. And then to be the only feature on that album and have a better verse than Nas on that song was just amazing. So,
Shout out.
like, I know it by heart. Like, visualizing the realism of life in actuality. Fuck who's the baddest. A person's status depends on salary, and my mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live the dream for all my peeps who never made it. Cause yeah, we were beginners in the hood as 5%ers, but something must have got in us. Cause all of us turned to sinners. Now some sitting in resting in peace, and some are sitting in San Quentin. Others such as myself are trying to carry on tradition. Like, I can go on, but that shit, just the way he spit it, the way he put those words together, the picture that he's painting is so motherfucking vivid. And every time I hear that shit, I get chills, because it's such a well put and just masterfully crafted fucking verse. And this guy remains one of the dopest MCs out. And again, to do that on Illmatic is just insane, man. So that verse is one of the many verses that made me want to pursue the shit and, like, chase that type of level. Like, I'm always trying to get to that descriptive shit, plus the flow, plus the content of your lyrics. You're dropping knowledge, you're telling a story about you growing up. Like, it's just amazing storytelling. So yes, that's one of my verses. That's my one for today. AZ, Life's a Bitch. That is crazy.
I haven't
Life's
heard
a
that
bitch.
song in forever.
Bro,
I mean, I've
listen
listened to
to that
Illmatic,
song.
but that song, it's been a
That
minute
song
since I
is
heard that one.
amazing.
That
All
song
right,
is dope.
Sade, where we at? What we got?
I can't make up my mind now. Okay,
What's
but I've come. Yeah, I got one. So it's probably like 2-3 years ago when I wrote. It was when I was getting into blogging, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can make my path into the industry with this. I wrote kind of like an ode to hip hop. So I was teaching myself how to do reviews and this and that, and and then I was like, I'm just gonna write, because I was good for like writing like long shit. So I just wrote like an editorial piece, and one of the quotes that I used was, one of the quotes that I used, it kind of and I it's funny, 2-3 years later I'm looking back at it and I'm like, it still relates to me. And the moment that I like put this quote in this piece, it's still like, so the quote is from Common. She was old school when I was just a shorty, never knew throughout my life she would be there for me. Yeah. Because I thought when I first heard
Love that.
That shit was in 94, so I was only like 2 years old. But when
but it don't matter.
when I heard I used to love her, the first time I heard, I'm just like, well, okay, you're talking about a girl. Okay, cool, whatever. And then I'm like, wait, this is not a person. What is this? And it was before I got into doing spoken word and like poetry and shit. And it's actually, thinking about it, like that was one of the songs that even pushed me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna flex. I'm gonna try this in my poetry. And I even wrote a few pieces about it. I mean, it's probably embarrassing and one of those things that I'm never gonna perform ever again. I mean, I was like fucking 15, whatever. but writing about like personifying hip hop, I thought was like just the dopest shit. Right. So that quote stuck out to me, and now even more so, like, you know, just coming upon it like within the last 10 minutes, it's like, damn, this has become my fucking life. This is like, when I was saying before, this is my third job, and got people calling me brown sugar and shit.
You got to.
We're gonna make that my fucking theme song. Go ahead. We should open the show. You're gonna introduce me. The next check-in and open mic night, September 12th. You should definitely open me with that. That's fine.
Yes, I got you. I love that song.
That'd be so dope. Okay, anyway, sorry. I'm revealing my plans. But yeah, no, it's just because I went through this piece and I'm like, damn, this is like good 3-1. I got one to Joe Budden, one to Kanye, who really, like, Joe Budden and M pushed me to do like poetry and shit, and, you know, a little bit of Common, and Kanye gave me that confidence. But this quote is like, it's right, this is my life,
right?
And I've been told, and like I posted it, just getting all the love and support for the show, and like seeing all the artists that have connected, like you and Sane, and these people who have never would have crossed paths, or these people who would have maybe either never performed or would have performed later on, and my show is where they got their start. Or seeing like people, like I had this one artist where, I mean, he kind of fell off a little bit again, but he was like, I haven't performed, I haven't written nothing in 7 years.
That's crazy.
And my boy invited me out here, and I was like, fuck it, I'll perform. He was one of like the last minute signups, and then he was consistent for a few months, and he was like, yo, I'm back to writing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So, and then that was like my first year, and that was the first few months where I was just like, oh shit, I'm actually doing something. So to see it too, it is pretty cool.
So where's build it up from?
Yeah.
And I will say, and I'm not just saying that because you're here, but I feel like there's a lot of other showcases where I meet with artists, but I don't really connect with them. Like your showcase, like your open mic, has been the place where I have just not only connected with other artists, but I've maintained relationships to now it's like full-blown like friendships,
Right.
Yeah.
which is crazy. And there's something about the environment here, like the aura of where this place is, and just the way the chairs are set up, or it's just the fact that I find myself hanging out with people
Or it's the
for like a
stage.
half hour afterwards, or the
I was
stage.
gonna say that I was doing this.
The fucking lights, maybe the way the lights are hitting me or something. the way the banner's properly placed.
You know,
Maybe it's droovy. Like,
Yeah.
just everything that goes into this show is
Yeah.
just not like any other show. And then the fact that you're hosting it as dope as you are, you're creating that environment, and you're just putting out
gonna
that
cry.
air of positivity.
Nah.
Like, you're just putting out that vibe. No, you really are just
Yeah,
like
I
bringing
was
out a
gonna say
vibe,
that
and it's
too.
just more open and just more welcoming than any other showcase. Like, there's hosts, there's DJs, sure, but like there's something about the vibe here, you know, at VFW in Lodi, New Jersey. That
where
just,
we host
you know,
I feel bad, I forgot their number.
yeah, it's
163 Union Street.
162.
No, it's
No, it's
3.
163.
163 Union Street.
Son, it's 3.
Oh shit.
Almost a year now. I think I know.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that when we get the actual address. But
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
but there's
yeah.
something about this place, the vibe that it brings is just very dope, and it's really allowed me to connect more and really go out there and work with these artists and try to build something with them at other places we go to. And this is no shot or no shade to other venues. It's just like,
No, because y'all do your thing.
yeah, y'all do your thing, and you bring a great experience.
Just
It's
not
just
me.
at this particular one that I've been in, this vibe, it just really is a way for everybody to meet and work and perfect their craft.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great thing, and you don't have many of those, especially hip hop. We already get a bad rap everywhere. People hear hip hop and they just they kind of shut down, or they don't want to deal with they don't want to. They have these already stereotypes that come with it.
Looking for a venue,
It's tough.
and like the search to start this show took forever, because as soon as like I say, you know, it's an open mic, and I'm trying to be like poets, singers, and then they'll go rappers. Oh yeah, they might show up. Yeah. No, we're good. Well, I mean, they wouldn't say that, but like you could tell on their face. Or actually, one was like, no, we don't do those type of things here.
Shit,
Mind
it's
you, I
tough.
just saw that they advertised for like an open mic, so I'm like, okay, all right.
So you guys changed your mind.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
it's just- it
definitely,
was
I just
rough.
feel like there's a lot of heart in this open mic. That's what it is, because she's just not just doing it just for like, you know, the attention or the connections or just a way into the door. It's more of like,
It's genuine love.
it's genuine love. It's from the heart, and it comes from a caring place.
Just shut up.
And I can say that because
Fucking
I've
up
been
my bitch face.
I've been working up. I've been working now in this for like almost a year now. It's gonna hit a year coming up in the winter, so I can say that. And I also put heart into it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate all of the connections that I've gotten to know as well. Like, look at us starting this podcast through these connections. So yeah, like, hopefully you guys can come out. And again, we are on Audio Mac.
We are on Anchor. We are on Spotify.
Apple
Music, and we are on YouTube. We're trying to take over the motherfucking world, man.
For sure.
For real, man.
Sure.
So I mean, what else? Is there anything else that we should get into? Anything else that you want to bring out? We're recording our next episode on Thursday, so
Yeah, we're switching it up.
So it's gonna be a 4-day break. So I don't know when we'll release the next episode.
Probably the
Same
very
time?
next day.
Next
Yeah.
day? Okay, so you guys are gonna get another
this one will
episode
be out.
very quick.
Yeah.
That one will probably get more into the shits that happened and the other music that dropped.
Yeah, and also if you guys have any inputs of, you know, what verses stuck out to you, definitely feel free to comment on our YouTube page or, you know, put down anything, DM us anywhere, and we'll definitely put that out there. And
There's
and
also
your
something she's
experiences.
forgetting. She's trying to get around it. Yeah, I saw that. You try to close out the fucking episode without.
That was
Go
crazy.
ahead. Let's talk about your artist development and you starting your challenge.
Yes,
'Cause technically you're supposed to start
I
tomorrow.
technically started I was supposed to start my challenge the 1st of September, and I started a little early.
Oh, good.
I dropped two current singing videos of me just acoustically singing
Right
a
there.
cappella.
Hit the applause button right
The acapella and stuff. And at the end of the day, like, it was pretty cool. Like, I got a lot of good responses, and it just motivated me. So yeah, you guys were right.
So that's one down.
I was the only one holding back.
That's one down. That's one down.
Well, the one in the stories doesn't count.
What?
It doesn't count. So you only got one in. That's it.
What's the other one?
The one in your story.
The one you actually, in the stories don't
Oh,
count.
yeah, the one in the story.
I mean, if you want to make that daily thing, that's cool too, but you should definitely
No, I
post.
think weekly.
Yeah.
Do weekly. Don't
I'm doing
Don't overdo
weekly.
It's gonna be weekly. Yeah.
But when
She's
you
still
do
taking
Because not
requests.
everybody wants to hear me sing every day. Like, that can
Hey, if
also
you got
be
some
annoying.
dope shit, they don't mind.
No, but don't overdo yourself. It's not about what people want. Or we want requests. We want cover requests. We do want that. But don't worry about what people are gonna know. Just do it.
Okay.
I already know Guest right now is listening to this and he's having flashbacks of me screaming, just do it.
Just do it.
I already know. No, but yeah, just fucking
Just
we
go
have
in.
the first request we already talked about. That's going to be from our coworker that has been asking about it. The cover.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I have three other requests now.
Yes. So you go. You said
I'm booked for the month of September.
You got this. You got this.
And then if not,
And I
we're
also
gonna
have
keep
an
working.
accountability partner.
Yes.
So that's pretty dope. And she's a singer and songwriter, and she's in a boot camp right now for artists.
Shout her out.
Her name is Bloom. So if you guys want to follow her, it's pretty cool. So she's my accountability partner. We're gonna meet up. We're gonna
Follow her where?
Songwrite on Instagram.
What's her @ name?
I don't really know.
Oh shit.
Girl. Don't worry, I'll fact check. Go.
Yeah,
Continue.
it's
I got you.
Bloom _ something. I'm sorry, babe, but yeah, like I met her, and when we first went to the Voice Box workshop, a lot of people, like, we were like, only a certain number of us were there before everybody, and we were just like, "You're here for the Voice Box?" I'm like, yeah. And we're all artists in our own journey, in different journeys. So like, I was the one who like kind of went to one workshop and that's it, and didn't go back. But she said that once we like got together and everybody saw us, they're like, yes, these two need to talk. Like, they were just gassing us. I was like, what? Why? She's like, you guys just get each other. I know it. You guys are in the same journey.
There you go.
She just got out.
There you go.
And so like, at the end of the day, like, a lot of things that I've said, she's related to. So she's like, you know what? I'm down. Like, are you down? She's in New York. I'm in New Jersey, but that's not gonna, stop us. We're gonna meet halfway and definitely songwrite, do whatever, and develop
that's
more.
At Bloom Principal 1.
There you
The
go.
number 1.
There you go. Shout out to Bloom.
Yeah, thank you, babe.
Shout
so
her
we're gonna
out.
see her.
Oh, and
Go ahead.
newsflash. I mean, not newsflash. I think I told y'all before, but
Oh,
you were
update.
gonna be featured on my project coming up with Obi Beats.
Yes.
I think you're the only feature as of right now.
Okay.
So which is crazy.
On the track.
Yeah, man. There's a song I've been working on for a couple years now. I wrote the lyrics, had a hook. The beat was different, so Obi Beats reworked the beat. It's giving it a completely different feel, and
We should definitely do a studio day.
We'll be getting a studio day in where we can get the hook recorded, and it's gonna sound great. I'm very confident in the record already as far as like what I've put down on it. I know you have an amazing voice,
Thank
so
you.
it's not going to be an issue. So I'm very confident it's going to work out. It'll be on all streaming platforms.
Check it out
soon enough, and then who knows, maybe we'll get a fucking video or something.
Okay.
So be ready. So
I'm
yeah,
really ready.
I'm really want to push that record, and we're going to perform it, and it's going to be fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm putting that out there in the universe. So it's gonna happen. So best believe it will be happening at a Check It very soon.
Yes,
definitely
check it out.
Night every second Thursday. The next one, September 12th. It's gonna feature
Thursday.
Featured guest is
Bronxlyn.
Bronxlyn. Thank you. I blinked. Is Bronxlyn from Music on Heaven, and it's gonna be pretty dope. Our the people that we have lined up so far it's good. And it's a lot of the regulars, which is not a problem at all. I got a couple new people. I left some slots open for the door. And everybody's fucking welcomed.
Yeah, definitely check out his video too, Land of the Free. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Insert here.
Lift every voice and sing let heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies resound at the rolling sea.
Land of the free. We're not named for freedom. I call for a purge in the land of the free. For 400 years, the label shape ovals and build wall streets. Check Stockholm, Jim Crow, welcome to the metro. Shout to the little bro, caught a charge, but I'd rather see you home. My fame is filled with black kings. I shot team, a room to drop things. I'm more like West before Kim. Fuck that, I'm Malcolm, he's Garvey. I live my life in no fear, take a knee if I need be. In the country where they uproar, death, killing of black boys. Get them peace, so I gotta get the peace share. Chirac feel like the Middle East, yeah. Prince Khan, the land of the free. Their fees cost about 10 G's. 50 racks a year for an inmate. These college bills I can't intake. When you swim at that, there's no floodgates. But you grab the mask to boost the heart rate. High raise when there's no food on the plate. When the sex is high, I need a piece of cake. No church, no God, lost all faith. Ever since they took that boy that way, they safely cross these lanes. Plain chicken on death highways. In the purge where you can't escape. Land of the free, but you niggas gotta pay. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. Lost hope, they try to gun down me. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. Lost hope, they try to gun down me. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. Lost hope, they try to gun down me. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. In a war with my country. Broke in the land of the free. Politics, media, let her paint me as a criminal to the point I start to believe. Kill a black like it's none to me. 3 strikes with the bass on the man J. Do a band to Biden, I ain't buying them. Couple jobs ain't hiring, so they suited with the heat, hit the block like a fireman. I'm king trying to get paid, so niggas get checked for the new J's. Ill cycle, gotta fight through. Use my voice as a map, let me guide you. Ain't no part-time, never when the rent's due. Mama sick but can't quit. On chemo, doing double shifts. Never seek aid, I have faith in our government. Fuck playing up, time's running out. Every second make a minute that I lose love. When you know my heart become the coldest. Lost in the wave, way deeper than the ocean. How we got here, why they don't care. Gangbanger dies, nobody cries. Let it be like one politician. The whole world stop as you stay and pay attention. All part of the plan, who taking a stand? Kill my nigga, kill a nigga, which part did you hear? Got my knees to the ground, got my head to the ceiling. No, I'm spilling my feelings, give a fuck how you feeling. When you safely cross these lanes, playing chicken on death highways. In the purge with can't escape. Land of the free, but you niggas gotta pay. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. Lost hope, they try to gun down me. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. Lost hope, they try to gun down me. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. Lost hope, they try to gun down me. No love in the land of the free. Shots fired in the land of the free. Bloodshed in the land of the free. In a war with my country. Under the king, my niggas, I'm home. Over my shoulders, feet on the throne. Under the king, my niggas, I'm home. Over my shoulders, feet on the throne.
Right. Good. That's what's up.
But yeah, anything else? Any comments?
No,
concerns?
I think we are all good. It's been another great episode, guys. Like, you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you again for including me on this shit. Like, for real, can't thank you enough.
You're welcome.
Dope.
It's been a pleasure.
Knocking this through.
Yeah, man. And we're gonna be rolling for many more episodes. We're gonna get these videos up, get this content
Episode
delivered
3,
to y'all.
right?
This is episode 3. I don't think we have a name for this shit yet. I'm sure we'll have it in the
We'll figure
post.
it out. I've been waiting. I was like,
right, I'm waiting for like that one phrase that would have stuck out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Oh
There you
shit!
go.
There you go.
Done.
Damn, we'll figure it out.
out.
We keep saying it at the same time.
All right, it's a wrap.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.